Welcome back to another Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where every Thursday morning we take a deep dive into a vintage set. We are going in complete order, so the set we are checking out today is Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Triumphant, and then of course we're going to be checking some more cards that are breaking records from sets that are Sun and Moon and older today. And before we get started, we do have to get things to our video sponsor real quick, and that is PokeNotify. If you guys are sick and tired of missing out on all these drops and pre-orders, and maybe you already signed up to all the store alerts and all the free discords and still have not been able to get anything, definitely give PokeNotify a try. But yeah, I get a lot of messages of people getting boxes and pre-orders from PokeNotify, and they even have a 3-day free trial if you guys want to check it out. And then if you use the code PokeBeardtcg at checkout, you will receive 25% off your first month. So definitely check them out. All the links are in the description. But all right, let's get into it. Checking out Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Triumphant. 102 cards plus 1 secret rare. Came out November 3rd, 2010. This is the set symbol right here. It looks like a little crown. And there's some very solid cards in here. I even like a lot of the holos and stuff. I mean, check out this Dragonite. It is just crazy. Beautiful reverse holo too. Then they also have an awesome Dragonair and Dratini in this set. You guys know I'm massive fans of those Pokemon, so I got a bunch of those cards. Even the Ditto is super cool. One of my all-time favorite Ditto cards. Just looks creepy. And then we get down to the good stuff here. So we got some more Prime cards. We have one of the best Prime cards here with Gengar, but we got Absol, Celebi, Electrode, Gengar, Machamp, Magnezone, Mew, and Yanmega. And then we have 2 sets of Legend cards. We got the Darkrai and Cresselia, and then we got the Palkia and the Dialga. And then we have number 4 of the Lithograph. So again, a very solid set. This is the last set in the Heart Gold, Soul Silver era. So we're going to be checking out some prices here. We got the Machamp, raw, $20. Yanmega, $11. Celebi, $25 plus $6 in shipping. Another Yanmega for $15. Machamp for $30. Celebi for $20. Absol for $27. We got the PSA 9 Palkia and Dialga Legend set for $300. Nidoking, holo, and a PSA 9 still went for $40. That's not too bad. And that's what I'm talking about. These Prime cards are so cheap raw in near mint condition. I mean, they can get a little expensive sometimes if you want them super clean, but you can find some decent copies for around $20 for almost all of them. PSA 9 Absol Prime for $90. Another Machamp raw Prime for $25. Looking for some different stuff here. Another Nidoking reverse holo for $60 and a PSA 9. Otherwise, we got the Gengar Prime and a PSA 9 sold for $500. So not too bad. Mew at $78. Another Absol PSA 9 at $99. Raw Gengar Prime says $152. It also says fan art. Not sure about that. Another Absol PSA 9 for $75. We got a PSA 10 Yanmega for $300. Another one there for $333. It's not too bad. Another Celebi for $25. Ooh, we got a Staff Sealed Promo Electivire. Sold for $599 or best offer accepted. That is pretty cool. But all right, let's get into some PSA 10 sales. So we have the 4th Lithograph here. Sold for $800 in a PSA 10. Then we have the Machamp Prime card. Just sold for $1,599 in a PSA 10. But yeah, the Machamp Prime isn't even the best Prime card either, and it's still selling for $1,600 in a PSA 10. But that's why I feel like it's so important for you guys to watch my Throwback Thursday and learn about these older cards and sets. Even though you might not collect these Prime cards, it's good knowledge to have in case you ever come across a super clean one and you know to grab it right away. But right next, we have the Celebi Prime card, just sold for $1,457 in a PSA 10. This is probably one of my favorite Prime cards. Next, we have the Mew. Definitely top 2. In my opinion, I feel like this is my favorite Prime card. I think it does beat out the Gengar. Just sold for $3,500 in a PSA 10. We did have a sale before that at $3K, but I love everything about this card. I think I have like 7 of these, not in a PSA 10, but just raw. Next, we have the Gengar. As you can see, this is the number 1 Prime card, just sold for $10,000 in a PSA 10. We had 2 sales, and we had one before that at $8,750. We even had a basic CGC 10 at $2,495. But yeah, sometimes I like to check out those basic CGC 10s because, you know, every once in a while they are super, super clean and could probably get a PSA 10. Next, we have the Dialga and Palkia Legend top card in a PSA 10 just sold for $2,500. Looks like you can get the set in Japanese in a PSA 10 for $700. Next, we have the Cresselia and Darkrai in a PSA 10 top, sold for $2,000. 2 sales of that. And all the cards we just checked have super low pops. Alt can be pretty off on the pop sometimes. They're usually a little behind. But still, a lot of these cards have very low pops, like all below 1,000 for sure. Next, we are checking out the booster pack. Set a sale at $140. We got a 3-pack blister sold for $600. We got 3 loose packs for $400. We got another loose pack here, unweighed for $102. Pack looks pretty rough. We got a blister booster pack, which also looks kind of rough, $160, but the pack does look clean in it. Another pack, $250 plus the Feraligatr. And we got another one here at $150, $150, $134. Beautiful blister here at $249. That one looks really clean. Ooh, we got a sealed case of 3-pack blisters, 24 of them, for $17,000. Now that is a big buy. But yeah, most of the packs honestly are around $100 to $150, so not too bad. It looks like someone got 2 of them for $200. Another 3-pack blister with the Porygon promo at $550. And that's for Platinum Arceus. And the last booster box sale that I could find, which was like 6 months ago, was $5,351. But all right, let's get into some other cards here. We got the Mega Charizard EX from XY Evolutions. The card just keeps slowly climbing. Last sold in a PSA 10 is $497, and the raw just keeps creeping up and up and up. It's getting tougher and tougher to find, below $100 in really clean condition. Last sold raw 65, 100, 125, 115, 73, 99, 68. We did have a PSA 9 down here at about $160. Next, we have the Full Art Mega Blastoise EX. I really like the pink on this card. I don't even like pink, but I don't know why. The pink on this card just pops. And these have pretty high pops. The Blastoise is 4,716 in a 10, 4,279 in a 9, 1,142 in an 8. And the Charizard has about double that at 10,989 in a 10. People forget how long XY Evolutions was printed. The booster box is worth like $1,000, but I am telling you, they could not give away XY Evolutions packs. Like every collection box had them back in the day. It was crazy. Back to the Blastoise though, same looking chart, just keeps slowly climbing. Last sold in a PSA 10, 345. And see if we got any 9s. We got a 9 at 100. And then raw, 25, 35, 55, 40, 70. I've noticed it's definitely closer to like $50 to $80 for clean copies. Next, we have the Venusaur with a pop of 4,068 in a 10, 3,480 in a 9, and 784 in an 8. This dipped down a little bit. Now it's climbing back up. Last sold in a 10, 230. We got a 9 at 51. And then raw at 47, 18, 26, 25, 39, 34. All right, next we have the XY Evolutions booster box. Now it was at $1,000 for the longest time. Now last sold 1,300, 1,414, 1,269, 1,200. A ton of them at 1,200. But like I said, this box was everywhere. Every local card store had it. Like it was crazy. Next we have the Mega Tyranitar. I feel like this is one of the sleepers of the Mega cards. Tyranitar is super popular. This only has a pop of 314 in a 10, 241 in a 9, and 142 in an 8. It's a very, very solid card. Last sold in a PSA 10 is 550, so getting up there, but still, for that low of a pop, I feel like it should be a little higher. And raw, 41, 75, 81, 99. We got a PSA 9 at 155. Next, we have a bunch of Sun and Moon secret rare cards that are all just like breaking records for their sales. So we got the Volcanion EX, just sold in a PSA 10 for 560. Since the pop is 302, but like I said, we're on alt, so the pops are definitely a little off, a little behind. Next, we got the Gardevoir EX in a PSA 10, just sold for $870 with a pop of 332. And that was on auction. Definitely a super solid Gardevoir card. Next, we have the Secret Rare Breakthrough Mewtwo. This is the red background. Just sold for $1,400. Says pop is 186. Next, we have the Mewtwo EX. This one has the blue background. Just sold for $1,599 with a pop of 203. I'm telling you, people have been sleeping on these cards for so long. I swear, if we got a card like this now in one of these newer sets, people would go crazy for it. But just because it's a little bit older, they don't care about it, or they just didn't even know it existed. Next, we have the Alakazam. Pretty rough picture, but this is definitely one of my favorite ones. It literally has Lugia and Umbreon in the background. If you guys are just listening, definitely check out this card. It's a little blurry for this picture, but you cannot beat this card. Crazy texture, gold border. It's top tier. I like this card more than like 90% of all the special illustration rares and illustration rares. I'm not even exaggerating. This has a pop of 411, but just sold for $1,800 in a PSA 10. Next, we have the Gyarados EX, another super crazy one. Shiny Gyarados with the Greninja. It's just crazy. with a pop a little higher, 763, just sold for $1,250. And that is from XY Breakpoint. Next, we're checking out some of the XY promos. We got the Pikachu here. Again, crazy cards. I just love when they have multiple Pokemon in the card like this. So this just sold for $6,870 in a PSA 10 with a pop of 54. Next, we have the Blastoise. This one has a Vaporeon and Gyarados in the background. Just sold for $3,550 with a pop of 86. And I'm telling you, these cards were so cheap for the longest time. And we can check on Pokédata here. We have sales at $200 for a PSA 10 in 2020. And I mean, the pop then was probably half of what it is now. And people still weren't appreciating them because they were just promos. That's why I'm always a big fan of promos. People always sleep on them. But no joke, the raw prices are going up. Last sold for Blastoise 115, 105, 115, 80, 60, 81, 150. We got a PSA 9 at 439. So if you guys do see these cards and they're super clean, I suggest grabbing them now while you can. And we have the Charizard EX, which is actually one of the cheapest ones. They did not have any recent sales for the Venusaur on any of the websites or apps or anything like that, so we're going to skip him. But for the Charizard, just sold for $2,500 with a pop of 396, so a way higher pop. And we'll check out the lifetime sales of this card. So it got down to $356 in a PSA 10 in April of 2023. In 2020, it was also a couple $100. But I mean, the PSA 9's going up, the RA's going up. Last sold 50, 47, 50, 75. This is definitely, like I said, one of the cheapest ones. But to get it really clean, it's definitely going to be like 60 to $100. We got another sale at 65, 99, 75. Any PSA 9 sales? We got one at 236. But I think this is also a very solid pickup. It has the Magmar and Flareon in the background. I just wish they had texture. That's my only complaint with these cards. Otherwise, I think they are some of the best Pokemon cards we've ever gotten. The XY promos and the Sun and Moon secret rares. I mean, these are just crazy. So like I said, keep your eyes out. You know, a lot of these cards are just going up and up and up. So if you want them, I'd probably get them sooner than later, especially if you're thinking PSA 10s, because these all have crazy low pops, especially compared to like the newer cards where like the Lugia V has 17,000 in a PSA 10. And basically not one card we looked at today was over a pop of 1,000. And I know there's still going to be people in the comments that saying that doesn't matter. But if there's more than 1,000 people that want the card, I mean, that does matter. I mean, this is my Throwback Thursday. We're not going to get that many views, but we're still going to have thousands of people watching this video. And if 10% of them want it, you know, that's basically the population of this card. And then we got a couple of the collection boxes. So here is the Charizard box, which actually comes with the Charizard promo and 4 generations packs. Nice Charizard figure. Honestly, I feel like it should be going for a little bit more. Last sold is $655. Just think, there could be a PSA 10 card in there. Again, these cards are pretty tough to grade, so you got to keep that in mind. Plus, the generations packs are very expensive now. And then we also have the red and blue collection, which is the Blastoise one. Last sold $574, which was technically last month now, but not too bad if you think about it. I mean, especially if you do hit the PSA 10 Blastoise. But even if you didn't, if you got the 9, I mean, the 9s are still selling for almost the exact price of this box, plus you get generations packs. I also think the box is super nice for display. I love how it's set up. You got the promo dead center, we got the figure above with the 4 packs, and I love the generation pack artwork. So I'm a big fan of these. If I do see these in person and they're super clean, I might pick them up. I just don't see them very often at card shows and stuff. I feel like the people that have them are not selling them very often. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Throwback Thursday. If you guys could do me a massive favor and hop over to my TikTok that I just started and give me a follow there, I would really, really appreciate that. And then, of course, if you guys like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And if you want to support more, you can check out my Instagram or my YouTube membership. It's only 99 cents a month. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you want to watch my last Pokemon What If Wednesday, which was a super good one, we talk about Card Party, we talk about my favorite PokeTubers, and we even talk about which Journey Together booster box to get. Click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.